Good morning to one and all. In the previous class, I discussed about the super elevation or banking angle, which was provided on the road surfaces to counteract the centrifugal force which was acting on the vehicles. So that we need to design particular amount of super elevation angle to the particular road surface to counteract these centrifugal forces and friction between this tire and pavement. So where E is the super elevation angle. All these things are discussed in the previous class. Once again I will revise. After that we will go to today's class. This is the car moving on a particular road surface with a slight angle of deviation. While going on the road surface, the car has to face these frictional forces and centrifugal forces. Total weight of the load will concentrate on particular point with respect to center of gravity. With respect to the center of gravity, CZ and other forces, the total load and P values are derived with respect to an angle alpha, so that all those derivations are come. This is the how we analyze this super elevation with respect to centrifugal force, where centrifugal force equal to P, which is equal to WV square by GR. This is the derivation for the super elevation. Okay, with respect to W sin theta plus FW cos theta. In those whole terms, W cos theta is common on both sides, so that the entire equation will be divided by W cos theta, so that the equation will comes as E plus F equal to V square by ZR with respect to meter per second, and with respect to kilometer per hour we are having formula V square by 127 R. Okay, this is the total derivation about this super elevation curve. These are the terms involved in the equation, so that we need to notice those terms also. What is E and what is T, what is F, what is V, R and G, all those we need to know and we have to write in the examination paper. After that topic we are having maximum super elevation and minimum super elevation. So in which places this maximum amount of super elevation will be prescribed and will be kept according to these IRC regulations and others. First of all, in olden days we are having these bullock carts and other animal drawn vehicles, so that all those vehicles are having normal speed, that means certain amount of speed those bullock carts and all are going, so that there will be no frictional force, no such amount of centrifugal forces acting on those. Only they are having some amount of frictional force, those will be acting on those wheels which are made by these wooden pieces and others, so that they are having some amount of lifespan. After that they will be replaced by new ones. But in case of this maximum super elevation, we have heavily loaded vehicles. That means nowadays we are using these heavily loaded vehicles which are having a capacity of 10 tons to 20 tons. Normally we are having. But in case of lorries as a transporting mediums, they are daily transporting these goods. Those are useful for human purpose in their daily life usage, like our food purpose and other industrial purposes and commercial purposes and other transporting, that means commercial purposes and other building purposes also. Sometimes we are drawing some huge amount of building materials like steel, cement and other utilities from industries to the nearer to the construction sites, so that these are useful for heavily loading vehicles. In this case, heavily loaded bullock carts and trucks carrying less dense materials. Less dense materials means the materials which is having low density. That means there is no low there is low density means low weight. That means the total vehicle having less quantity of weight. The center of gravity of the loaded vehicle will be relatively high, and that will be safe for such vehicles are move on a road with a high rate of super elevation because of this slow speed. That means the total vehicle having low density materials, so that the density low means totally weight also low on the particular vehicle, so that if any speed of moving on those vehicles, there will be a less quantity of center of gravity acting on that, so such that there will be less amount of forces acting on those days. But nowadays we are having huge span of vehicles with huge amount of tonnage, so that there will be huge amount of center of gravity forces and other forces while they are moving on a particular stream of curves and other roads. The centrifugal force will neglect the small in the case of bullock carts. That means in case of these bullock carts and others, their entire design will be differ compared to nowadays vehicles, because of nowadays we are having 4-wheeled vehicle to 12-wheel vehicle, and a number of wheels will be changing from span of the vehicle. The span of the vehicle is very large, that means number of wheels will be changes. A better example is tractors and lorries. Normally lorries they are having a small scale 6 wheels. For large span they are having 12 to 16 wheels also they are having, so that their span maybe increases. So that in normal cases their movement is very difficult. That means in our town purposes and other conditions, the movement of these are very strictly prohibited, because of at the junctions simply while they are moving automatically the traffic will be suffered due to these large spans. So that in the maximum super elevation curve we are mainly discussing that in the olden days we are having mainly bullock carts, so that these bullock carts having less amount of this super elevation and less amount of weight, so that the super elevation will act as low as possible, but in case of nowadays we are having huge amount of structures and vehicles, so that it is essential to calculate the super elevation required for that particular vehicle and particular loads. According to Indian Road Congress, the fixed maximum limit of super elevation is plain terrains, and in snow bound areas is 7%. That means Indian Road Congress means it is a major authority in our India, so that we have to follow their rules and restrictions. The minimum super elevation in rolling terrains is 7%. On hilly roads we are having a super elevation up to limit of 10%, but in case of urban roads and other conditions we are having a maximum super elevation of 4%. This is the major principles regarding to this maximum super elevation. Next one where I had discussed what is the minimum super elevation we need to maintain in rolling terrains and normal places. Minimum super elevation normally maintained for this drainage purpose, that is also called as camber angle. Okay, camber angle. The drainage consideration, it is necessary to maintain a cross slope on the surface of the roads to maintain this so surface water moving. That means the movement of surface water from top to besides, so that we need to have this super elevation curve. It is calculated as equal to less than the camber of the road surface. That means less than the camber of the road. Camber is normally provided at the center of the span, so that it should be less than the camber of the road. Then the minimum super elevation to be provided in a horizontal curve may be limited to the camber of the surface. That means minimum super elevation provided on horizontal curve. Horizontal curves and vertical curves we are having. Already we discussed in the previous classes. In the horizontal curves we are having a super elevation. That means vehicles are moving with a huge amount of force on inner wheels, and outer wheels have to face a less amount of load, such that we have to restrict this minimum super elevation while the vehicles are moving on these horizontal curves, so that there will be a less forces applying on those vehicle tires, so that there may be less quantity of friction. If the super elevation is more in this case of horizontal curves, automatically the vehicle will be slipped into the center of the particular curve, because of the super elevation means normally it is in a position while they are going on the circular curves, they have to face a huge amount of centrifugal forces, so that automatically the vehicle has to bear the total load onto its inner wheels. That means what are the inner wheels, what are the outer wheels, you have to know. The wheels which are nearer to the center of the circle, those are called inner wheels. So the wheels which are farther to the center of the wheel, those are called outer wheels. Simply by using this diagram, we need to know this is the particular curve. That means this is the vehicle, this is the one side view, so that the vehicle having this view. This is the inner wheel and this is the outer wheel we are having. So that this is the normal span of the vehicle, this is the inner wheel and this is the outer wheel. So that the inner wheel is nearer to the center, outer wheel is farther to the center. These things we need to remember. After that we are having this chart. That means we need to check this chart while we are going to construct particular roads with a proper super elevation level on those conditions. Depending upon those topography conditions and others, we need to provide this amount of super elevations according to the design speed and topographical conditions. That means we need to mainly focus on design speed. After that we have to focus on terrain conditions, whether it is a rolling terrain or plain terrain or steep terrain. Those things also we need to remember. The design speed is 20. We are having a horizontal camber of 4%. That means 4% means here we are having 50 mm. After that 3%, 2.5%, 2%, 1.7%. Simply the meters will be decreases. Likely we are having a design speed varies with 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 80, like up to 100 we are having design speed. Normally this speed will be sufficient for national highways only. This is not suitable for super expressways. That means expressways having a capacity of 120 kilometers per hour. So that this chart will be suitable only for national highways, up to national highways. From normal district roads or village roads to national highways, these charts will be suitable. So that different radiuses of in terms of meters and elevations they are given. That means in the bottom side we are having 100 kmph. After that we are having radius in terms of 1100 meters. We need to maintain 4% of this elevation. Likely if 1500 is there, we need to maintain 3%. If the radius of the curve is increases, we need to decrease the this angle of inclination of the super elevation. This is the overall meaning for that. After that we are having this super elevation design criteria. Normally E is the elevation. We are having elevation where first term is E. So that here angle is measured with the E. So that E equal to, mainly we are having formula with respect to velocity and radius of the curve, where V equal to velocity in terms of meter per second. In some cases we are having kilometer per hours. For both conditions we are having these formulas. Okay, the super elevation for 75% of the design speed in terms of velocity, V in term meter per second and kilometer per hour, calculating by neglecting friction. Normally we are having E plus F equal to formula in the previous cases. Here we are having E plus F equal to V square by ZR. So here in some of the conditions, the national highways and other only we are having these BT roads, bitumen tar roads, so that the friction will be negligible. Why? Because friction is considered in local conditions, not for highways and others, so that this friction will be negligible in highway conditions. In localized conditions, that means we are having CC roads and other roads, so definitely we need to consider this friction also to reduce the number of accidents through year. That means per year we are having huge number of accidents, so that to reduce those accidents we need to have these frictional properties on the particular soil data. But in case of the super elevation, we are neglecting F value, so that we are having only E equal to V square by 225R in terms of kmph, and another one we are having 0.75 V square by 127R. But in case of step 2, where what we are having is the calculated value of V is less than 7%, the value so obtained is provided. That means if the value we are calculated, if the vehicle is moving with a velocity of 120 kilometers, simply we need to substitute 120 meter per second or kilometer per hour, whatever the value may be, in terms of this v square and r, what is the radius of the curve, which were given in the problem. After that we will get the value of v in terms of percentage. Those percentage should be less than 7. We need to provide minimum of this 0.07 value obtained is provided, so that if the value is step with exceeds 0.07, that means if the value is greater than this 7%, so that we need to provide a maximum slope elevation of equal to 0.07, proceeding with step 3 and 4. So that we have to assume these frictional properties by equating E equal to 0.07, so that we need to consider in case of friction also. If the value is greater than 7, we need to consider frictional properties. If the value is less than 7%, we won't have to consider frictional properties for particular super elevation curve or horizontal curve, whatever it may be. The value will be greater than 7, we need to consider frictional properties also. Value is less than 7, we have to simply neglect the friction F value. Normally E plus F equal to V square by R. But in the primary step, that means step 1, we are neglecting F. After step 2, we are calculating with respect to velocity and radius, we are getting in terms of percentage in elevation. So that if the elevation is greater than 7 or less than 7, we need to consider. If it is less than 7, we need to continue the process. If it is greater than 7, we have to consider these frictional forces. So that F equal to V square by 127 or minus 0.07. In those conditions, we have to calculate F value, that means friction, what amount of friction we have to provide on those particular site, so that the F value will be calculated. After that, step 4, we are having E plus F equal to formula 0.07 plus 0.15. That means normally we need to provide a friction value of 0.15. Okay, those two things will be equated to Vs square by 127 R. That is given in the step 4. It is allowable speed to calculate the above higher than the design speed, then the design adequate provides super elevation E is equal to 0.07. Whatever they are given in the above equation, simply they was explaining. That means E equal to super elevation value, he is provided as 0.07. Normally with respect to curve, we have to provide a minimum elevation of this 7% and frictional value as 0.15. So that he simply prescribing these minimum values he was taken and equating to normal velocity and radius of the curve. So that by using this minimum value and the radius properties, simply the design speed can be also calculated. That means the total problem is 2 cases. If the problem having a design speed, we need to calculate these frictional forces and elevation. In the problem itself, he gives elevation and frictional properties. We have to calculate the design speed on particular road. So that two things we need to learn by using this simple formula E plus F equal to V square by R. In some cases, we have to use this V plus by 127 R and 225 R in terms of meter per second and kilometer per hour. Okay, these are the speeds. We need to calculate design speed in terms of radius of the curve and velocity and frictional properties and elevation of the curve. Those 4 things. Simply he neglects one term and gives the remaining 3 terms. We need to calculate whatever the neglecting term. These are the major problems. That means these are minimum problems. That means we are having one value lesser. In a 10th class basis also we are studied problems like this, so that it is very easy to use. Next one, we are having on important highways. That means where there is a more amount of traffic and other structural features, those are called as important highways. As far as possible, it is desirable to design the road with speed restriction at curves. That means in some of the places we are having a huge amount of accidents occurring daily basis. That means in the daily or weekly we are having minimum of 5 to 10 accidents on those road. Particularly we need to focus on those kind of roads such that we have to eliminate the amount of accidents which was occurring on those roads by providing proper conditions. That means we have to use different types of alignments to understand the driver's situation. We have to awake those drivers, particularly while they coming on those routes, and we need to provide more number of images. What are the particular places? How many number of accidents was occurred? So that they have to go in what speed? What is the minimum speed we need to maintain? Up to which level? And more number of speed breakers like that we have to provide, so that automatically the vehicle's speed will be slow down and after that they will be rises. That is the main theme. Next one, hence the side conditions are permit the curve should be realigned with a larger radius or curvature so that the design speed could not be maintained. That means in some of the cases due to less span of the radius of the curve, the accidents may be occurred. We have to focus on those conditions. What are the major factors for those accidents? How we have to reduce? What are the minimum factors we need to maintain? Is there any characteristic of the soil or any other damages? So that all those things we need to assess, and we have to implement proper principles and rules by redesigning or realignment of the roads. This is the alignment of the super elevation. Okay, the green color we are having the total embankment of the pavement. That means embankment means surface profile of the pavement is given here in the terms of green color, and they are giving some two lines with the help of these dotted lines. After that we are having normal green line, such that in normal conditions we are maintaining with the help of this green line total road surface with this proper super elevation angle. After that in normal conditions we have to provide some camber and banking angle, so that for drainage purpose they are simply reducing the thickness of the pavement. First of all we are having 2 points: elimination of crown of the cambered section. That means elimination of the crown means crown అంటే నార్మల్గా మనకి కిరీటం అంటూ ఉంటాం, కిరీటం. Elimination of crown at the cambered section. That means in the camber section without maintaining this we are having normally crown shape. That means ఒక టోపీ లాంటి ఆకారం ఉంది. We need to eliminate those crown shape by raising these values. Rotation of the pavement to attain full super elevation. That rotation means circular path we have to maintain in curve like structures. This is the example for elimination of this crown like shape. What are the disadvantages? For smaller length of the road, cross slopes less than camber, drainage problem in outer half. These are the main two problems. First problem is for smaller length of the road. That means if the length of the road is so low, so that cross slope is less than the camber. That means cross slope normally we are provided for drainage purposes. Cross slope is less than the camber. In those conditions, particularly in rainy seasons and others, water will be stagnant on the roads. Those will be incomfort to the drivers and other users, particularly for the road conditions. Next one we are having is a drainage problem in outer half. Drainage problem in outer half means whatever the side drains and side canals, what are those having in the nearer to the road, all those will be affected due to this roads and others. Next one is the alignment of super elevation. With the help of this crown shifted outwards. That means inner means whatever the wheel nearer to the center point of the particular road, that is called inner wheel, and those edge is called as the inner edge. What are the edge outer to the farther to the center of the curve, what is called outer edge. In this case we are having crown shifted outwards. That means the entire crown will be shifted outwards. That means this is the outward angle, this is the inward angle. Those two things we need to remember, what is inner and what is outer. This is the inner portion. This is the outer portion. Those two things we have to maintain. The disadvantage of in case of this crown shifted outwards condition is large negative super elevation on outer half. That means negative super elevation in the outer half because of this crown shifted outwards. And second one is the drivers have tendency to run the vehicle along the shifted crown. That means the drivers will be confused due to this crown lifting and crown downing. Because of that, most of the drivers are having confused mindsets while have to overtake the particular vehicles in these conditions. Simply they were diverting their mindset on which way they have to move. It is a correct way or not. Those kind of mindsets will be generally created because of these alignments, crown shifted outwards and downwards. After that, we are having alignment of super elevation. Normally in the previous two cases we are simply raising and decreasing the crown from the center point and edge conditions, so that that is the conditions too. We are having some amount of negative, so that we have to eliminate those negative conditions and we need to have some positive appearance on particular site by using different principles. So that these are the principles. First method, we are having a different alignment of road with respect to horizontal plane, so that we need to avoid those conditions, crown lifting and crown downing. In the rotation about central line, that means we are having particularly for the particular road we are locating some central axis in along x axis and y axis. That means along the width of the road and thickness of the road. Here we are having, that means thickness of the pavement we are considering one point. After the those 2 points are merging at a particular center, that means width and length, that means thickness, we are having some amount of central axis. With respect to those central axis, we have to rotate particular amount of this pavement, that is called as a super elevation with respect to these conditions. In the previously simply we are increasing the road thickness, but in case of here we are not increasing the road thickness, simply we are increasing the embankment. That means the bottom we are having some amount of earthwork, those earthwork will be increases, automatically this pavement will be created as smoothly as possible. Advantage is earthwork is balanced. That means in the previous conditions, here we are using huge amount of material, that means thickness is very high at the center, so that in here we are having less quantity of material and a huge amount of earthwork, so that earthwork will be balanced. Next one, vertical profile of center lines remains unchanged. That means there is no change in the profile, vertical profile of the particular road, because we are maintaining equal thickness throughout the width of the road with respect to central line. And next disadvantages in the pattern is drainage problem, depressing the inner edge below the general level. That means here we are having inner edge. This is the inner edge. In rainy season, simply water will pours and stacks on this particular point, so that there will be some amount of drainage problem in rainy seasons, and whenever there is a outward a huge amount of flow on side canals and others in this particular area. This is the main disadvantage only. Remaining two are earthwork and in the criteria of earthwork and the thickness of the materials, both are advantage to us. Next one, alignment of super elevation is the second method. That means in the previous case we are using at the central level, but in here we are using at the end level. That means totally we are raising with respect to inner edge. Rotation about the inner edge. That means inner edge is the out. Here we are having, this is the inner edge. With respect to inner edge, we are maintaining certain amount of angle. In these conditions, we are having only one advantage and two disadvantages, so that this is not suitable for our constructional purposes of roads. What is advantage is no drainage problem. That means we are having huge amount of slope, so that automatically the water will be run off easily on nearer fields. That means whatever the fields nearer to the road, automatically the water will run off due to huge amount of slope maintaining with respect to inner edge. And the disadvantages we are having is additional earth filling. That means here we are having huge amount of earth filling we need to require. That means earth filling means normally we are using stone dust, fly ash and other industrial wastes which are available cheaply onto the nearer fields, so that those materials are using. In some cases we are using these metal waste also. That means waste coming from the granite industries and others stone industries. Second one is the central line of the pavement is also raised. Vertical alignment of the particular road is changed. Central line of the pavement is also raised. That means central line means in the previous case, once we have to observe, particularly central line is kept at the center of the pavement, but in case here we are not considering central line with respect to center, we are only focusing on inner edge only, so that central line of the pavement is also rising. Central line of the pavement is also rising with respect to vertical alignment of the road and changes. These two are the main disadvantages in the second method. Okay, these are the top views. That means whenever you are showing a particular figure, that means we need to have those side views, top views and front views. Those are very much important for our civil engineering point of view. Why? Because in the field itself we have to locate particular perspective views. If you won't have to understand these perspective views, automatically we won't have a particular knowledge on these drawings. So we need to have some faulty constructions without understanding these particular drawings. In the first one we are having a different cross sections, such that normally we are having a transition curve in between C and D mainly. Up to A point and B point we are having straight line. After that B we are having transition curve from B to D point. So that after that D we are having normally F point is there. From F onwards we are having straight road pattern. So that at a different cross sectional levels, what is the elevation we have to maintain, those things are kept in the below diagrams, so that we have to understand those very clearly. First of all, we are having a straight line up to B point. After that we are having this transition curve, so that the amount of road pavement will be increases gradually. In the method one, bottomly we are having method one rotating pavement about the center. After that we are having cross section at A, section at B, section at D, section at F. Like that we are having only 5 sections. Okay, in the above diagram also they mentioned what is the thickness with respect to arrows. They are showing 2 arrows are coming together at a particular point, that is the thickness of the particular line, so that what amount of thickness they have to maintain, what is the particular amount of angle they are maintaining with respect to center line. All those are given in this diagram. Typical cross sections of the pavement with respect to inner edge. This is the particular pavement. In the previous diagram we are using some small lines to notate these inner edges and outer edges, but in case we are having both inner edge, this is the inner edge, this is the outer edge. That means this is the exactly approximately this is the center point for the particular radius, so that the center point we are having this line is nearer, this line is farer, so that nearer line is the internal, farer line is the outer line. Those two things you have to remember. This is the method 1 and method 2 approaches. That means in the method 1 we are rising with respect to central point. By the method 2 we are rising with respect to inner edge. Up to C point we are having normal curve. After that C we are having simply rising with respect to central line up to E point. After that we are having normal proportion. But in case of second diagram we are having different notations. Outer edge and inner edge, E value, E by 2, and all those are differing somewhat. That means profile is same but they are having some fractional difference with respect to this road pavements and others. Those things we need to observe. In the top line we are having central normal line. Okay, this is donated with the central line with normal grade. But in case of second line we are not having the central line. We are having but they didn't indicate. Why? Because in the primary process we are using the central line as a base point to rotate the particular road. But in case of secondary conditions we are having these inner edge. Okay, with respect to inner edge they are rising the particular pavement surface. Okay, these are the notations in our class. These are the all these are comes under basics. Whenever you go for your post graduation in transportation engineering, you are having familiar knowledge and familiar designs with respect to all of those super elevations and banking angles and different kinds of designs we have meeting. So that these are the some of the examples given to solve the problems. In the previous case also I explained that simply we are having super elevation having formula E plus F equal to V square by R. That means E equal to elevation, F equal to friction, V is the velocity, R is the radius of the particular curve. By using those four terms we have to solve the problem. In the problem itself they are giving 2 to 3 values. We have to find out the fourth value. What is the first problem we are having? The radius of the horizontal curve is 100 meters. That means we are having R value. The design speed of the vehicle is 50 kmph. That means we are having V value also. And the design coefficient of the friction is 0.15. That means F value also is given. We need to calculate only E value. We are having formula E plus F equal to V square by R. 127 R in terms of meter per second and 225 R with respect to kmph. Those two formulas we need to remember. Calculate the super elevation required for lateral friction is assumed to develop. That means if the friction is developing means we need to consider F value also. If the friction value is neglected means we won't have to consider this F value. Simply we have to take F equal to 0 in the first condition. In the second condition here they are giving calculate the coefficient of friction needed to number of super elevation. No super elevation is provided. That means simply we have to take this E value equal to 0 and we are having V value and R value. We have to calculate F equal to V square by R, 127 R or 225 R. In the problem itself we are having with respect to kmph, so that F equal to V square by 227 R is the formula we need to substitute. In the formula itself V equal to 50 into 50 by 225 into R equal to 100 meters. So that the top itself we are having kilometer per hour. In the bottom we are having in terms of meters. So that we need to convert those meters into kilometers. That means 100 divided by 1000 we need to have. So that total will be converted into 0.1 kilometer. After that we need to calculate this amount of friction required. In the third conditions they are giving calculate the equilibrium super elevation if the pressure on the inner and outer wheels should be equal. That means pressure on the inner wheel and outer wheel should be equal to we are not having a particular elevation. Equilibrium slope elevation means we are not having some amount of elevation. For normal flat surface, we have to calculate this E value. That means E equal to V square by R. We need to consider F also. But in case of this example 2, what they are giving is a 2-lane road with design speed equal to 80 km/h, horizontal curve of radius 480 meters. That means V equal to 80 km/h and R equal to 480 meters. And design the radius of super elevation for mixed traffic by how much outer edge of the pavement is raised with respect to center line. That means simply we need to calculate here E value. Okay, what is E equal to elevation? The pavement is rotated with respect to center line. That means first procedure with respect to center line. These things we need to take. Whatever the procedure it may be, we have common formulas. V square by 127 or 225 r with respect to E plus F. These two are the problems. And example 3 and example 4 are also. I substitute at the end of the class, this second chapter, I will give the solutions to these 4 problems in terms of papers, and I will provide in our group, so that you have to solve by simply changing these velocities and radius of the curves. You have a better idea on these problems, such that if you have solving n number of problems, means you are having better idea on these problems and others. Okay, I will discuss this in the next class.